Then I'm gonna make a smaller seam, because remember we're sewing on the nice side of the fabric. Then we're gonna do same thing at the very end. Okay?
Yep.
Here we go. If the machine goes. Okay, here we go. Reverse and going. Take the needle up and then cut my threads. And we're gonna do the same. I'm gonna remove the pins right now that I didn't because they were far away from my fabric, from my needle. And we're gonna start the same thing again.
On the other side, on the other side of the bag, right?
Yeah. Okay, and then here we are.
And since this bag isn't gonna, it's not apparel, you're not gonna be wearing it. You don't have to worry too much about some of the seams not being exactly, because we're gonna cut them.
But we're going to cut it. Yeah. That's it. Now, what we're gonna have to go back to the table.
Right. So.
Okay, now, since we're gonna make the French seams, remember we are in the right side of the fabric. We're gonna cut the excess. I'm gonna cut carefully, not to touch my stitches.
So you're cutting about, would you say, 1/4 of an inch?
Exactly. Yeah, I am, and I'm gonna leave like a very clean, straight line here, because we're gonna turn this and we're gonna re-stitch this, and this is going to be hidden, and you're never going to have your tote with strings.
It's going to be a beautiful French seam inside of your tote.
Exactly. And here. All right. Here, this is what we are doing. We're going to cut this edge because we're going to do this. This is a French seam.
So it's turned around inside out again. Yeah. And that whole cut off part is inside between this seam and this seam, and you don't see any frayed edges.
Exactly.
No raw really edges clean. At all. Yeah.
Okay. Then let's just cut
the other side. This is why if your 2 pieces of fabric that you sewed or 1 big long piece isn't exactly the same size, it will be when you're finished cutting this.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Now we're ready. Now we're gonna turn our bag to the right thing. We're gonna get the corners out, pressing. You press the very center of that, and then you press with your finger, and then you will have a perfect corner. Okay. Mm-hmm. Same thing. I press with my finger to the very corner before turning, and then it comes out really straight.
Okay. And now how are you going to sew? Are you going to iron this together?
That's the ideal thing. The ideal thing is you have an iron, you take them out, because this, the best you can take this out, the better. This fabric is pretty easy to iron, kind of iron with your fingers.
Yeah.
You finger press it with, I use my nails.
So you're going to feel for where that extra fabric was, and you're going to sew on the other side of it. And this is going to be the inside of your bag eventually. And that's your French seam.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then same thing in the other side. Take out things.
Makes the seam a little sturdier too, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Gonna be carrying a lot of stuff home from the market.
Yeah. Okay. And now I'm gonna run to the sewing machine. I'll do that, and I wanna come back here.
Okay.
Because we're gonna do the corners to make a square bottom.
Okay. All right, so
here we are. I saw this. Now we have a French seam. You see that? It's really clean, really easy, and looks very good.
And that is the inside of the bag.
Yeah.
These are the wrong sides now. And then
Now we're gonna do this. We're gonna make the bottom
bottom.
to stay, because if you go shopping with this, you want your bag to be
square at the
bottom, and then with things it will sit like this.
And you could even put a
Okay?
piece of plastic if you wanted, or
could.
something in the bottom to reinforce
Exactly.
that. Double cardboard. Or
Then to do that, what we're going to do is we're gonna open our bag the other way. We're gonna
Okay.
do the other side. This. We're gonna put the seams together.
So this
here.
again is the inside of your bag.
Yeah,
And
this
your-
is the inside
Even though
of
your
my
seams
bag.
look beautiful, that's going to be on the inside.
Exactly.
Lining the seams up in the middle.
Exactly. We're gonna line the seams in the middle. We're gonna stretch this thing because you don't want to trap anything in there. You see here, we need to turn it around, do the same because,
Ah,
okay,
it's all lined up.
now everything is lined out. Now we're gonna measure where this is 7 inches.
7 inches
inches
across.
across.
Okay.
Exactly. And
That's
that's super
good because,
important.
right, so no matter how long your bag is, wherever this hits 7 across,
Exactly.
that's where you're going to
And
sew.
because the other way, my bag is gonna get really tall, but
Uh-huh.
very narrow.
Tiny.
Okay.
Okay.
Then it's gonna be right here. Be sure that this is straight.
Mhm.
Okay. And then we're gonna mark this, and we're gonna sew it there. Now I'm gonna pin this.
And you're going to sew one and then the other. So we need to mark
Exactly.
both sides.
We need to mark
You're not going to
both
sew
sides.
this through the whole thing.
No, I'm gonna mark just this side
This side.
with a pin, and then I'm gonna turn it around and do exactly the same thing. Then you're gonna look
Okay.
again for 7.
And then
You're gonna
across.
get it straight. You're gonna mark this. Same thing.
7 inches across.
And then this one, I'm gonna
In that
pin
flap.
flat. And now we're gonna go back to the sewing machine and we're gonna do this
2
and this.
across.
Before we go to the sewing machine though, I'm gonna do this because I don't wanna come back to the table again.
Okay.
To do the upper part, we're going to fold this 2 inches.
2 inches from
Okay.
the top.
Then
Okay.
2 inches from the top. If you have an ironing hand, it's the most convenient thing. You do your 2 inches on the top, like this.
Make sure that.
Just be
entire top
sure that this
two.
is 2 inches in here. This is a little bit too much.
This is not a big one.
That,
Oh, that's
no.
your chalk. Yeah.
That's my chalk. And then 2 inches on this side. And then you iron this and you fold it in half. Then you're gonna have a 1 inch.
A 1 inch flap on the
Flap.
top, on the inside.
And
of the
that is
bag.
gonna make your bag very strong because we're gonna put
Then the handle.
the handles here. Okay?
Okay.
Then I'm just gonna mark it with a secure it with a pin.
Okay.
And that's it. Okay.
Okay.
Same thing on the other side. Here we are. Are you recording?
Yes, I am. I got this.
Okay. Let's go to the sewing machine.
Okay. So she's gonna go to the sewing machine and sew around the top. And sew those 2 lines across the bottom, and we'll be right back.
Okay. I went to the sewing machine and I did
We sewed on your
this.
yellow
You
line.
see these little triangles on the yellow line, both of them. And this makes my bag, this is the inside, but it's gonna be flat bottom.
It's gonna
Okay.
sit flat. And this is something that a lot of people, when they first start sewing, they don't get. Why do I have to do that the opposite way? But it's because it makes that square. I've had a lot of questions about that.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. But yeah, see, makes that nice square bottom.
Yeah. And then I also did my, remember we have folded these ones, where I went and I just did stitches in both sides. You don't need to do it in both sides, just you are gonna do it in, you need to do it in one side that is the, when you're
Yes.
putting them together, but they will look much nicer if you have
Yeah, it seems that
the lines
then.
in both sides. Now, to put these ones on your bag, I haven't sewn this part because we're gonna kill two birds with one shot, as we said in Mexico. And we're gonna sew it together, but we're gonna mark where we want the straps to be. Then from the edge, we're gonna mark three inches. Then here are my 3 inches. I'm gonna mark that.
No matter how big your bag is.
No,
3
doesn't
inches
matter.
from the end.
Okay, and then same thing on the other side. Then we're gonna turn it around and do the same thing. Here, this is a little bit too big, this ruler, but it's fine. We can use it. And here's the other one. Then, what we are going to do, and it's gonna look funny in the beginning for you, but it's, I explain. We're gonna put them, this is the inside of your bag. I'm gonna take this pin, I'm gonna put this without the threads. And I'm gonna put them here this way, but then I'm gonna fold it that way. Then I'm gonna cover.
No, I have a question. Could you put this in?
You can.
And then over like
that. That sounds
and
good.
sew it?
That's perfect. That's a very good idea, Linda. Okay. Then I think that's we're gonna do that. I like that idea.
And that's why you don't have all this bulk.
Exactly.
Earlier we talked about having this bulk at the end.
Exactly.
Of this thing. You don't need
then
that.
You don't have that bulk, which is very nice. Then we're gonna pin this, and then this other side. Just be careful not to twist this before doing this. Yes. Then I go this way, keep it like that. Take my pin, look for my mark, and then put it inside, fold it, and grab it. Put the pin, and that's it. Okay? Okay. And then you do exactly the same thing in the other side.
And how are you going to sew?
What are we going to do is we're going to go around. We need to do around this to do the edge. Yeah. And then the best thing to do is to make an X.
An X right in the middle and reinforce that.
Exactly. And then you reinforce that.
And then you have this beautiful look on the outside of your bag.
Exactly.
There's no seam showing on the inside.
Yep.
It's square.
Yep.
And if you put a pocket on at the beginning, the pocket is there. You don't
exactly. And then
get involved with the pocket.
This. Yeah. And this is the bag that is finished. And
it's a nice bag.
Fun.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Here. Okay. Now this is here is the bag and it's finished. We sew. Then you're sure that your
strap
is really nice and sturdy. Okay. Yeah. And here's the bag. You can see it complete with the bottom, nice square bottom. And yeah, have fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.